morning, everybody. Just getting a little bit more set up. Let me just... There we go. Okay then. Welcome, everybody. We did quite a lot yesterday, actually. I was in a bit of a rush towards the end, so we didn't actually perhaps get things quite as well done as I might have liked. Hi, Twitch viewer number 1 and Mr. Big Scob. Mr. EZ as well. Wow, everybody. Let's hear shout-outs from everybody except for Smashcast, I guess. Let's see if I've still got the brush on. No, doesn't look like I do. That's a wrong brush. So I'm just gonna, real quick, do an overlay brush. And we'll just, real quick, just finish the... Hey, no worries, friend. There's not, there's no requirement. So I'm just gonna pour over a little bit more sand because I didn't get quite as much as I would have liked last time. Let me show you, actually. I'm not sure how many of you have seen kind of the situation of what I'm building at the moment. I'll just finish with the sand here, and then I will show you guys. Well, I mean, you can kind of see, actually. So this is the bed of a lake, or I think it's maybe more of a tidal lake, so I suppose technically that's a kind of a bay. A very closed-in bay is a tidal lake, because I think it's going to be connected to the sea. So, yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to flood this today, actually, so I'm going to fill this with water, I think. And then we'll be able to have, well, this is the base of the lake that I'm working on. So you can see just over here is where the other build is. So you can see over here it carries on to where the rest of the build is, and this is kind of going to be coming down here into this huge valley area. Yeah, I'm finished. It's all the way over the other side though. I would fly over there, but I'm not going to do it right now, because it kind of messes up the replays, so I can't do the time-lapse properly. I will fly around all the builds again at the end, if you guys are interested. So, what I want to do, first off, is, I think let's shape this thing up a bit more, because it is ugly at the moment. This is real ugly and not really very good at all. So let's do something real quick with this. I'm going to use sandstone, actually. So, something like this, maybe? And let's just see if we can... A little bit tricky to get it where I want it. But I'm basically going to just try and make this look a little bit less, because I mean at the moment this is a mess. This is a mess is what this is. It's not so great. Yeah, so I figured out how I could get the shaders working actually, which is cool. Previously I hadn't been able to work the shaders because I won't go into the details because it's kind of boring, but suffice to say, if I wanted to have the time-lapse camera, I couldn't also have the shaders, which meant that I wasn't using the graphics card on my laptop at all, which is kind of a shame because it is a gaming laptop. But then I discovered, or had an experiment just yesterday in fact, and I managed to work out that I could actually get both working at once, so that's what I did. And at first I thought, oh, it might not look that great, but it looks nice. And it's kind of easy to work with as well. I was thinking that it might not be very easy to work with, like maybe the shaders would kind of slow the machine down or slow the frame rate down or something, but it looks just fine, so that's nice. So I'm going to try maybe do a bit smaller now, maybe a 5, and just kind of blend this in, and then we can blend it in with the stone, is my intention here. And I might even go for some layers, actually. Some layers could be cool, couldn't it? Oh, we could put red sand in the... Maybe we don't want to overdo it. It is just the bottom of a lake. So yeah, just going to fill this out a little bit. Yeah, so long as they're not reducing my frame rate, do let me know if the frame rate's not working, because you know, I wanna do a good stream. I don't wanna just have a 1 frame per second stream and not realizing that it's happening. Silda's basic shaders. Yeah, that's a danger a lot of the time with the laptops. They can just sometimes they'll just run on the. I guess since most laptops don't have a graphics card, they'll just run on the integrated graphics, and that's terrible. Like when you have a graphics card, it's pretty upsetting to know that you're hammering the CPU for no reason. Okay, that's good. It probably won't get. I don't think there's anything kind of more demanding than this. I suppose lots of leaves might be more demanding, but we'll see how we go. Maybe once we get kind of further on with this build, there'll be so much kind of stuff on the screen that we might need to turn some of this graphics settings down, but at the moment it's quite bare, so it's working okay. So I'm gonna, once I've done this, I'm gonna blend it all in and make a bit of a smoother base here. I'm also going to do similar. I think I'm going to run around in kind of places where there's sand on top of the stone like this. I'm going to try and make it sandstone because I think that makes a lot more sense. So I think this will work for now. So let's take now a blob brush. Sometimes in the afternoon. I was going to do one yesterday, but my streaming PC decided to update at the wrong time, so I couldn't do it. By the time it updated, it was already too late, really. So we're going to use a splatter ball, and we're going to use sandstone as our brush, as our voxel, and we're going to do a size. Let's go for 4. Be kind of small. I'm just going to splatter this. I'm going to splatter this around, and then I'm going to kind of erode it down, and this should add a bit more noise to it. Ah, yeah, I see. Okay, that's kind of cool. If we have problems with the Seus shaders, maybe we can try dropping down onto those. I know there's one shader set that comes included in. There's a shader set that comes included with Optifine, and that is. Doesn't seem to do much, to be honest. I couldn't actually see it at all. Terra Firma Craft, which is that one? I don't recognize that name. What is this? What does that one do? Is that? Well, I actually have no idea. I'm not sure I've heard of that. Just gonna run all the way along the bottom here, and then we're gonna use a smooth brush. Smooth brush is not perfect, in fact it has a lot of problems, but it's a lot better than just straight up cylinders, which is what we already have, or even worse is straight up cylinders randomly splattered with blocks, which is what we presently have actually. Yeah, Optifine's very good, but I mean, as I was saying, it has shaders that are built in. It's got 2 different types of shaders. It has default, and it has internal, and I can't see the difference between the 2. So I don't know if one is. I don't really know the difference. Alrighty, so there's kind of the base here. I'm actually going to bulk out a little bit at the base more, actually, because it doesn't really make sense that there could just suddenly be a huge kind of area bulking out here from the ground straight up. I'm from England. I live near London, so that explains the accent. It's a little bit of a There's a little bit of a blend. I have a little bit of a blend between kind of a northern and a more BBC accent, I suppose. I do originally come from the north of England. So let's take a erode brush now. Smooth brush, that's the one I'm looking for. And we're going to go for, let's do a size 7. It's important that this is a bigger one because we can't always reach the surface. So the splatter ball hits in a ball, of course, because it's a splatter ball. But it hits the surface, so the center of that ball is on the surface. Whereas when we're using the this smooth brush, we can't always hit the surface. So anyone who knows anything about maths will understand what I'm talking about. But the rest of you, I don't know. You should all know something about maths, I hope. So you probably all know what I'm talking about. Why we need a bigger erode brush than a splatter ball brush. But yeah. So this actually hasn't done as much as I was hoping. Kind of been just not that great a result. I mean, it's worked a little bit, but it's not perfect, unfortunately. I kind of like the way, actually, at first I was like, with the shaders, this is, at first I didn't like the fact that the blocks would blink after I clicked them, but now I quite like it. It's like almost like a special effect. Yeah, I think it's a fairly mild accent, really. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna sound completely different. But I could do a more northern accent. I could try it, but as soon as I have to do an accent, I never know what to say. So, all right, mate. I'm from northeast. Bye. I'm going down to town, and I'm gonna get some tinnies, and we're gonna get drunk, mate. In it. Etc. Except you probably wouldn't do a. Not everyone in the north has a high-pitched accent. I might have just given you all too much information. Now you can use that. Anyone who knows anything about, or anyone who knows northern accents will know where I'm from now, probably. Well, I could try and do a Yorkshire accent. Oh god, this is not a Yorkshire accent. I think I'm doing a Somerset accent. I'll get in me tractor and I'll go for a bit of farming. That was a terrible. All right, let's strike that from the record and pretend that I didn't try to just do that, because that was not really good or appropriate. Okay, so we still got a little bit of blockiness left, but I actually kind of like it. It's kind of like chunky, and of course this is going to be under the water anyway, so we're not going to be able to see it too much. So I think that's okay. So what I'm going to do now is swap over here to a sphere brush, and we're going to go for a sandstone sphere brush. I'm going to go for mask stone. Gee howdy, partner. I'm from Texas, and I'm gonna go and wear a cowboy hat and shoot some varmints. Yeehaw! What do you reckon? I could fit right in, right? I guess should I do my Russian accent now? Bye-bye. Have fun with whatever it is that you're doing. I'll see you later. No one would know I wasn't a local. This is such a weird song. It's kind of weird. Does this song play in the game? I don't know if it does. It'd be a bit weird if you were in the game, in Minecraft, and could just hear what sounded like someone else doing stuff. Ah, I got it. I got it nailed, clearly. Oh, okay, it's a disc. I was gonna say, it'd be a bit confusing if you're just walking around and you can hear someone else playing Minecraft. You can hear like other Minecraft sound effects going off. So what I'm doing here with this particular brush is, well, I mean, you can see what I'm doing. I'm painting the kind of cliff walls. I'm trying to leave these grey areas where they look kind of like rocks alone, but where it's kind of the actual main landscape, I'm trying to turn that into sandstone because I think that makes more sense. I guess I'll turn this whole section into sandstone. I think it makes more sense for that to be sandstone than to be regular stone. Shall I do my Russian accent, comrade? I am from Moscow, and I like... Oh no, this is not a good accent. I think it's more of a Finnish accent now. I am from... I actually can't think of anywhere in Finland right now, but I'm doing I think it's a Finnish accent. Oh gosh, I'm gonna die now, aren't I? That was terrible. That was such a horrible accent. Also, somebody please, I'm trying to think of a place. What's the capital of Finland? I don't actually... Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a partnership with Twitch. The problem, actually, with the Twitch partnership, I've been looking at this. I mean, I could maybe get one, but if I do that, I'll only be able to stream on Twitch, which I'm not sure if I really want at this point. So maybe one day, we'll see what kind of happens, but YouTube's my kind of home base, so I don't really want necessarily to get a Twitch partnership. I don't actually know what that means even, giving me Prime sub. As for Lord Cthulhu, I like your idea, but I'm trying to keep it kind of, I want to have this be kind of a realistic area. It's actually probably the first realistic scale build I've ever undertaken, so I'm trying to make it kind of realistic. Whereas, I don't know if you've lived in the real world, but Cthulhu does not make a common appearance there, really. So see if I can do any other accents. Alright, mate. Crikey. I know... oh no, what's this? Oh no, governor. Good gosh, governor. It's a Cockney accent. It was supposed to be an Australian accent, and now I sound like I'm from around Brick Lane or somewhere. No, of course. I don't know. My Cthulhu lore is not up to scratch. I was trying to think of some incantation or some way that I could invoke his name correctly, but I'm drawing a blank now. Can I? I'm gonna stop with the accents now because I tend to devolve into. There's about 3 different accents where I start off right and then they'll end up Cockney if I try to do a South African. I'm from South Africa. I like to play cricket, and I once had a South African teacher when I was at school, and she used to talk kind of like this. And now it sounds almost like more like a Kiwi accent, actually, like I'm from New Zealand, or yeah, it's definitely a New Zealand accent now, I think, and it's kind of funny, really, because it's kind of like a Cockney accent, but it's not. It's quite different, also. So, in which accent? I'll just say ghetto parties, ghetto parties, and bottles of water. You want me to say bottles of water? I don't know. I can switch a little bit between. This is a floater here. I didn't notice that. Die. There's loads of floaters here actually. Let's just quickly kill off these guys. Clearly I didn't get through this area with my smooth brush properly. In fact, let's do a smooth here. And we'll just we'll wipe out some of these floaters real quick. So those need to go. And those can go. And these guys. Bottles of water. To be honest, I have, sometimes I drop the T and sometimes I don't. Certainly where I'm from, you wouldn't say a T sound, so you would say it would be bottles of water would be from the north. Bottles of water. Ghetto parties and bottles of water. Alrighty, so it's looking a bit better now. We've kind of blended in some of these holes in the landscape. Where we've got these big kind of rocks sticking through. I think some of them are okay, but mostly, like this area here, for example, I don't really like that. Let's just merge in the stone here, make it look a bit more sandstone. I could give you a full-on talk through the. So I'm from the northeast Yorkshire area. I can give you a full talk through, but we drop all of the letters up there. So you wouldn't say an H. So in fact, here's a great sentence. You would never say this. This is not a real sentence that you would ever say, but this is a legitimate sentence, and you might say "hit that hot hat." In the north, specifically where I'm from, it would be "it that or at," which is, I mean, it's not a sentence you would frequently say, but it's one that you could say, and it just turns into just sounds. "It that or at." It sounds ridiculous. You took me at. Give me back me at. I love it. I'm gonna eat you. Mate, I'll eat you. Okay. So I just want to bring the sandstone level up here a little bit more. I'm going to actually fill out a little bit more as well, because this area in the middle is looking a bit sad still. And this is kind of going to be where everyone's looking. So I don't want it to be looking so sad. This is going to be the major kind of draw. Where the eye comes first is going to be this kind of castle in the middle. To be honest, I wasn't really planning on making this so sandy as it is, but it looks like I've kind of committed to sand now. So I'm actually going to bulk this up a little more. Let's see how we can do this. What's the best way? I think a lift brush. And so we'll just lift out a little bit. Yeah, so this will be the bottom of the sea, or, well, it's going to be more, it's going to be like a lake, but the lake is going to be connected to the sea, so I think it's technically called a tidal lake. That's when a lake is connected to the sea. So I'm just going to pull this out a little bit more, and I mean, it's going to be hideous to begin with. Definitely going to take a bit more work to get this to a standard where it's kind of acceptable. I'm trying to think if there's a better tool I could use for this, but I can't really think of anything. I mean, it seems like okay tool, but it's not great on this kind of scale. It doesn't really work so well. A lagoon, I suppose. Yes, perhaps. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I guess I'll take a brush, a cylinder brush, stone, maybe 5.2 perhaps. and just try and just put a little bit more weight in here, and maybe level it off a little bit at the top. So anywhere where it looks like it's kind of lacking, I'm just going to kind of bulk it a little bit, and then I think we're going to need to use a lot more erode brushes around the side. Maybe a smooth brush over the whole thing might be a good idea, because it's definitely still not really at a level of being useful. And on top of that, I think I'm going to have to bring up some other sections of the lake, because it's kind of weird just to have one section that's kind of built up. I know we've got that one over there as well. But lakes usually will have kind of shallow parts and deep parts, so this is kind of weird to have just one very shallow, one very deep, I suppose it's reasonably deep, lake. So we keep just lifting up a little bit through here. Hello, it is Savesky Bodo. I remember his name from before, and I have seen him before. I did it. How are you today, friend? I hope you had a nice day yesterday. Or, wait, is it? It will be the evening for you, right? In, Malaysia, was it? Malaysia? I think it's Malaysia. So still bulking up, and we're getting kind of a weird kind of stacking blocks effect, which isn't really what I had in mind. So maybe we can try a different brush. I know there's a cliff brush. Brush cliff. What's gonna happen? Boom! Do something. Oh, okay. Interesting. So if I do something like... Interesting. That's quite nice, actually. That's quite a good brush. Oh, yeah. That's pretty good. Don't really know what it's doing exactly, but definitely better than what we had here. So let's do that a little bit. That could save us quite a lot of effort, actually, I think. Nice. This is a powerful brush, actually. I don't want to overuse it because maybe it's going to create some... Ooh, that was too big a hole. Seems powerful though, yeah. I'm going to try here and kind of target where the sandstone ends, so we can maybe get this kind of stone platform on top. Yeah, that's pretty nice, pretty cool brush. You know what, I think I might turn it back to stone, this sandstone, because I kind of want this to be a rocky kind of thing, rather than a sandy thing. It doesn't really make too much sense. Sandstone's very soft, it doesn't make too much sense for it to be standing so upright. Whoa, let's not do that. Whoa! Okay, this brush is quite unpredictable at times, apparently. Let's give it the last command as well. Okay. So I'm going to build it for now, and then we can maybe change the color later. So let's do a splatter ball brush, and we'll do it with stone, I suppose. And what this is going to do is, I'm hoping, in fact, actually let's undo this a little. let's do G50. That's totally not going to do anything. I have to do it in here. G50. Oh wait, no, not G50. G5000. And with a brush of a small size, what this is going to do is going to create some really dense, but still random spheres. And my intention here is to use these to build up kind of a rocky escarpment on which I can then apply a smooth brush, and hopefully will result in kind of what I'm looking for, which is kind of a fairly random but very large. Large is not the right word. A fairly random but still chunky surface here. Whoops. Okay, we'll leave that. Alright, and I'm just gonna basically spam this out on here. And then, you know, I'm gonna use a bigger one in fact. Let's do a size 8 in the middle here, so a big one. Big boy. Oh gosh, he's a big boy. He big. We're in danger of ending up with kind of sphere shapes here once we smooth it, but I don't know. We'll have to find out what happens when we smooth it. I do play some other games, but generally not. Well, I haven't really streamed any. I've streamed Binding of Isaac at one point, but not for very long. I think that should work. I think that should be high enough to be good. So let's take now a smooth brush. And create some interesting shapes. Oh, it's not actually working quite as I was intending. Funny. It's basically creating the same shapes that we had before. Whoops. Maybe if we keep hitting it with a smooth brush, we'll create some interesting. We'll be able to keep some kind of cool shapes without having too many ridiculous, weird alien shapes, which is kind of what we're getting at the moment. I'm kind of tempted just to hit it just once with a big melt brush. So melt it outwards to fill most of the gaps. So let's try that. So if I use a melt brush and I set the size to like 20, and then I hit it with this, whomp. Yeah, okay. And then I can go back to the smooth brush and just put the size back to like 8 or whatever it was, 7. And we'll go through here. Just excuse me for one moment. Some of my favourite games, actually. I used to be a big MMORPG player. I used to play, my first one, I think, was obviously RuneScape. A lot of people played RuneScape, I guess. Not classic, of course, I'm not a lunatic. But then I played Asheron's Call 2, it was called, which was a really good game, but closed quite soon, unfortunately. Sorry, I was trying to. I saw somebody on Mixer being rude, but he seems to not be there anymore. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know if Mr. Easy dealt with it. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Just... Oh gosh, I'm really messing up now. Okay. All right, I'm back. So this world in total, all the way through there, it's been about 2 months, maybe 2.5 months. This section here has been just this week so far. I don't know what the final product's going to be already. I've been thinking maybe it could be an adventure map, but I'm more on the... What's happening here? It's not working. Oh, it's laggy a little bit. Back now though, by the look of it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm more on the building than on the kind of game design. Well, I suppose map. I guess adventure map design, I suppose. So maybe it could be an adventure map. I'm not sure, to be honest. It would be nice to make an adventure map, but as I say, I'm not sure if I want to go through all the effort of placing spawners and monsters and treasure chests and things. Maybe, I mean, it's so large, perhaps I could make it into kind of some kind of a freeform kind of adventure map where it's quite maybe partially survival. Could be kind of interesting. Or just is a survival map with some like special missions, although I guess that's hard to control. Nice. Hello. Bonjour. So I was kind of thinking it could be kind of cool to have, because I have those orbs. They're not in this world anymore, but they are saved somewhere. It would be cool to have those orbs be part of it, and you could kind of traverse the world, explore the world, find some cool stuff, and maybe just have some real basic aims like retrieve some 8 special items or whatever that are hidden randomly around the world. Not randomly, but in places around the world. Could be cool. So just kind of chill, bit of kind of exploration more than anything. Have you guys ever played The Witness? If you haven't played The Witness, play The Witness. It is a magnum opus of epic proportion. It is a work of unparalleled art in terms of video game as a medium. It is wonderful. What's CTM? Okay, so we got that done actually, and it looks pretty okay. We'll probably come through and work on this a lot more later, but it's outside of the water right now, so it's not too much to worry about. Yeah, if you don't know anything about it, don't look for anything about it. don't look for anything about The Witness. Just play it. It is spoilable, and I would very much recommend not getting it spoiled if you can. Oh, complete the monument. Yeah, maybe something like that. As I say, in my whole time playing video games, I don't think I've played one that is as artistically accomplished. The entire world is just meticulously crafted to the nth degree. It's just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous world, absolutely gorgeous, and everything. As I say, there's almost the mechanics of the game are such that everything is just meticulously crafted to the point that you find it hard to even find a mistake. Like there's almost no mistakes in the world. Hello. Meow 420. Jesus is alive. How are you today, friend? So why am I doing this? I'm just idly kind of. I was just thinking about The Witness and just kind of, it's so great. Yeah, basically like that then, I suppose, Jerome. So this looks good. I think we can flood it. It's kind of cool actually. If we stand all the way back here, because of the way of the shaders are working, it almost looks like sand, like a sandstorm or something blowing through as we go through. I mean, I know it's just a it's not intended that way, it's kind of a glitch, but it looks kind of cool. If any game was going to get a 10, I would give it a 10. It's a 10 out of 10. It is practically flawless. I didn't complete it actually, so I guess 9 out of 10. I got kind of near the end and it gets a little bit less compelling, but I mean, for the vast majority of the game is extremely compelling. I mean, as I say, I didn't make it to the very end, so I shouldn't really comment too much on that. But I'm just looking for any floaters now. So I just want to get rid of, make sure there's no floaters left in here, because it's kind of weird if you're swimming around and you run into a rock that's floating there. What is your block, friend? Looks good to me. Alright, let's flood it. So, how are we going to flood this most easily? Here's what I'm thinking. We can flood it using spheres with mask, and then we can chop the top off. I think it's probably the best way. So let's do that. Over this way. You know what? I think I'm just gonna fill it using the. Whoops! I just fired something I shouldn't have fired. I'm just gonna do a fill command. I think it's probably the best one. Replace command. In this cuboid. What was that? Is that too high? That's fine, I think. Oh no, it's not. That's not fine. We need to go down one. Where is it? Oh, there it is. We should go down two, actually. Let's go pause one here then. Can't see it because of the shaders, but it's fine. It's probably okay. So we're going to fly all the way to the other side. Oh, watch out, blood. He's gonna shank you, mate. Yeah, you could probably give it a rest at this time, Mr. Meow. You've made your point. Come on. Alright, screw it. Excuse me for one moment. Oh, this is cool, isn't it? In the water. Kind of cool. I'm just gonna get rid of that guy for you, big skull. I can get over there. Okay, it's kind of working. Alright, so I'm going to do pause 2 here. Pause 2. Alrighty. I got rid of him for you. Okay, so let's... Oh, I was actually swimming. How novel. So let's fly over here and we should be able to watch this happen. Ready? Oh, here we go. Oh, it's quite low down actually. That was a lot lower than I was expecting. Oh, it's so pretty, wow! That's better than I could have hoped for actually. Nice, this is really nice. I didn't know what I was getting in for, but I think it's come out pretty ace actually. Yeah. Oh, it looks so good. It's awesome. I don't even know... I really want to keep the beach, kind of. I quite like the way the beach looks with it. Oh, oh, it looks really nice. Yeah, maybe we should leave the beach. Leave the beach as is. I mean, this is kind of a different feeling, different vibe than what I was going for, but it looks nice. It's like ocean instead of. I was kind of imagining like a big green grassy valley, but this is fine. Here's what we'll do. In fact, let's have let's make it like an ocean like inlet, and we can have we'll have kind of all rocky outcroppings all the way around the outside, and we can have like kind of hanging over sort of, and some roots down. Yeah, this will be nice. All right. Don't worry, I was just super enjoying this. I love the way this works. Like, it just looks so great. We can see like the rocks coming up. It looks like Koh Samui or somewhere, like in Thailand, or it's beautiful. Hello, Teenage Tegan. So I'm gonna shelve the beach off a little bit, make it a little bit smoother, as we had done over here. So let's make this region a little bit smoother, because this looks like it's one big flat area. So let's try that. How are we gonna do that? Seems like it's quite a difficult ask, actually. Let's try a blend ball. Okay. Okay. That's not what I had in mind. Blend ball. Oh, I see. I know what the blend ball's doing. There's sand underneath. There's the stone underneath. It's blending with the stone. But is the shape right? Yeah, the shape's kind of right, isn't it? So let's do here. So I'm going to take a brush, sphere, sand, 10, mask, stone. And what I'm just going to do is just run along here. It's not going to look like anything happened, but what it is going to do is replace the stuff under the ground with sand. I've been streaming for 50 minutes. This hasn't all been in one build. I should say it hasn't been in one stream. This is 1 week, so I've done 1 week to build this area so far. But we're just getting started, really. This is kind of the base of what I want to do later. This is awesome. I love. Oh wow, it's so beautiful the way it's like reflecting off. Oh, it's great. So let's try the blend ball now. Let's try the blend ball, and we'll go whoop, and like this. Yeah, and it's doing kind of what I want, which is good. So let's up the size here to 10. And if we use this, yeah, it should even out a little bit. Yeah, that's exactly what it's doing. So even out just a little bit these different kind of steps that we've got on the beach. And make it just a little bit... Ooh, that's not quite what I had in mind, but... In fact, it's not quite doing exactly what I want. But I wanted a smoother kind of passage down to the sea here, so... That's cool. Unfortunately, no. The time-lapse camera does not have shaders. I'm not made of money, mates. That's not intended to be. Oh, what's happened here? Have I put sandstone everywhere? Let's fix that with an overlay. So quick overlay, V overlay, and with the sand, and I want a D1 on that so that we don't go too deep. I'm just gonna not really see it too well, but just gonna overlay over all of this stuff that's not supposed to be sand and is not. So you can kind of see there's a little bit of sandstone there, which I don't really want. Yeah, I don't have shaders on the time-lapse camera because it is it's just my old laptop, so it's not really very powerful at all, unfortunately. Maybe in the future, when I'm super rich, but at this point, I'm not, so... So this area is nice, already. That looks pretty good. This section here kind of needs a little bit of work, so maybe we can... do I want to start punching by hand at this point? Maybe I don't. I'll try the blend ball again. Let's try the blend ball. Just try get it to blend away those. That's a little bit better, I think. Although again, I'm gonna have to go back to the overlay because we've got a little bit of sandstone coming through. I don't know where the sandstone's coming from, to be honest. I thought I used sand, but I think we're okay anyway. Okay. Uh-oh, replace material, stationary water. No, I don't think so. Okay, so this side's okay. We're going to come over to here now, and I think this is okay too, roughly. That's not okay. Do we still have a replace brush here? Yeah. Oh, that's the sand. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that's fine. Let's just go around and make sure everywhere that looks like it should be kind of sandy is sandy. And to here. Here. It's a bit sandier. Oh, I love how this looks. This looks just like it just looks like realistic. It's surprising considering I didn't really put that much. This is just kind of what it came out like, but this looks super cool. This little archway here. It looks like rock pools or something. Awesome. So let's get a bit of sand in there, and we can leave that, I think. And so maybe we can leave this as is, actually. A lot of this, we've got kind of a flat beach over that way, and the rest of this kind of stays kind of rocky, I think. We'll work over it a lot more closely later, but this area here looks like it should be kind of smoother as well, doesn't it? So let's see if we can do that with a blend ball. Blend ball. Blend ball. And we will... Okay, so it is getting a lot of stone in there, but that's no problem. We'll just overlay that in a moment. Yeah, this blend ball tool's pretty good, actually. And that looks pretty good. Let's see if we can hit there again. Yeah, this is actually a really good tool. It's really broken up the kind of monotony that we had going on, so that's good. Let's just get one more in there, and then we'll go for the overlay brush now. And we'll just overlay all of this. And I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done, but that's going to go in by hand later. So the idea I had actually for the purposes of when this becomes a time-lapse, I wanted to do it kind of in stripes after I've got the lake done, or I suppose it's the sea now, the bay. So yeah, I wanted to go in kind of stripes up from the middle, so that in theory what I could do if I was feeling particularly masochistic is I could try positioning. In fact, let's do that right now. So I'm going to put a piece of glass here. I need to put it in a place where it can see everything quite nicely. So from here, yeah, here looks good. So if I do sphere, glass, 0. Let me out of here. So here, and then if I just go... what am I going to do this. I'm trying to think of a way that I could make a place basically to take videos from, so that I can organize. Yeah, it's not going to work exactly right. I guess just leave one block, and I'll just stick my head up against that block, and for each time-lapse shot we can use that same block for a height reference, and that way, because each one has to be different, I could potentially pan around here and just everything just builds up. So it just does one like loop around and it just builds up. Or maybe I could do kind of stripes, so maybe like we'll do the shoreline first all the way around, and then the next tier all the way around. That could be really cool actually. Anyway, that block's there just to serve that purpose. And I was distracted. As usual. I'll get that last bit in. Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I think I want to start on kind of building up these kind of cliffs that I was imagining around the shoreline. Oh, first off, let's use a melt brush and try and, because if we look from above, we can see where we used cylinders. You can see we got cylinder, cylinder, and then cylinder, and then cylinder, and that's not really how bays work, certainly. Usually it's the sea eroding the other way, so we should have cylinders going the other way. So I'm at least going to cancel out the ones we have. With a melt brush. So we can use melt to just kind of roughly maintain the shape of what we've got, and just push it backwards, essentially. And I think melt as an erode brush is kind of close to what the sea would do, actually, so... Oh, we could have like some like palm trees maybe on the beach. That'd be nice. Hello, Charles. This is a well, you know, what is life? Huh? Really? When we get right down to it, what is life? Anyway, I can I can tell you what this is. This is a live stream. It is a live stream where I am constructing a large Minecraft world, and presently I'm working on this bay/lake area that you see before you. Hopefully that answers your question. So I'm actually causing quite a lot of damage to the sand, but this is no big deal. We'll fix that in no time at all with an overlay brush. So I'm debating how, I'm thinking a little bit about how to best to do these cliffs. At this point I haven't released any maps, but I also haven't completed any maps. I've released one map, which if you check me out on Reddit you can find it. It has a couple of things that I've done, but it doesn't have anything from here. But I haven't released this because I haven't finished it, basically. Why am I doing it this way? This is a bad way to do this. Let's do brush. You know what? Stop. Just not even bother with that for now. Just leave it. We'll come back for that at a later date. Did I say bye to you, Jerome? If I didn't, bye. See you next time, I hope. Push back here. I think once I'm finished with the world, before I do any kind of conversion of it into an adventure map or anything, I think I'll release it. So, in theory, if you guys really like what you're looking at, you could try making an adventure map out of it yourself, if you were so inclined. We'll have to see how we get on, because it could be weeks, months before this is completed. I mean, at the rate we're going, I feel like I'm just getting started, to be honest. I'm just getting warmed up almost. So I don't know how long it'll be before I release this, if I release it. Well, I think I will definitely release it at some point before I kind of hang up my hat, but oh. Okay, so there we go. that's kind of counteracted the sphering we were getting on the other side a little bit. You can still kind of see it, but it's not too bad. Alright, so I think I'm gonna start with some cylinders. I'm gonna try technique. I don't know if it's gonna work. I'm gonna try brush, cylinder, stone, 3, 4, 5, 5. That doesn't work, okay. Expect it to be a number or a valid math expression. Is there a random math expression? I'm just gonna see what happens if I type something like rand 1 maybe? No, okay. So it's not gonna work. So we are gonna have to deal with the fact that we're gonna have to have the same height all the way around, or else actually we can easily deal with that, can't we? So here's what I'm gonna do. Let's get just a stone brush. And we're gonna go for width 5 and height. Let's go for 7. And we'll go for height 6 on this one, and we'll go for height 8 on this one. And in fact, let's get all of our brushes back, and we'll go for height. We'll go for a different size on this one, for 7. And we'll go for a different size on this one, for 7. So we got several different brushes now, and we can just kind of swap between them to get kind of a slightly more random effect. Okay, apparently I didn't equip a brush cylinder to this one, that's fine. Oops. So I'm basically just going to bring this all the way around just to create this cliff area. So do that. I think I might back it up by, well, we're going to go back to kind of a lot of more higher surface level, not surface level, deep level stuff, I suppose, so less of the surface level stuff, because the problem is if we try to make kind of fine details at this stage, and then we try using big world editing tools, it's just going to wreck it. So the lake is fine because it's kind of separated, but yeah, we can't do that at this point for the others. So let's have a look at what this is going to look like. So this kind of look, yeah, I think that can work quite nicely. We'll bring it through here where we're getting a bit of a river opportunity. In fact, we've got, I think we're going to probably put a river in here, and we have a river. There's a river here. So wherever this comes from, I don't know, maybe we can get a mountain or a lake or something kind of in this area. We can have it also come down here, which could be nice. Maybe a waterfall as well. And let's bring this through here. And bringing it all the way around, basically. You know what? I was just thinking about the Witness again. It just occurred to me again, and I really like the kind of aesthetic of the Witness. If I could capture something of that in this build, I would be extremely happy. I don't know if that's kind of what I'm basing it upon. I don't think it is. Maybe subconsciously at some point, but it's such a great kind of peaceful aesthetic, which is awesome. Oh, this suddenly looks a little bit more foreboding now, doesn't it, with this cliff here? It looks almost a bit more like... It's reminding me of Path of Exile a little bit, suddenly, or Conan or something. Age of Conan kind of has a lot of areas like this, kind of tropical beaches, but with like kind of cliffs and vicious things. So I'm going to bring this cliff up to here, and I think I'm going to have... So we'll blend it in here, we'll bring this all the way around, and I'm going to bring it out a little bit more over here. But I think I'm going to let this beach here kind of... We'll blend it in and let the beach come out kind of at its own level. So we won't have a cliff here, we won't bring any cliffs around here either. But let's have no cliffs on this side, so we'll have cliffs on that side but not on this side. I think that works, that's kind of a nice contrast. And what else should we do here? I suppose we should start by getting elevating all of this to the right level, i.e. to the same level as that. So let's get some bigger cylinders now, like much larger. Column size 20 maybe? Sword stick 76. Hello friend, how are you today? I'm having just a fine day so far. Gotta go to work soon, but you know, it's better if I get to do a little bit of Minecrafting beforehand. And let's bring this all the way around. Whoops, that's a double one, don't want to do that. And we'll bring this in again. Yes, nice. And now what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to build this whole valley wall in actually. We can obviously modify that again later if we don't like it. But let me just fill this up a little. Fill up these guys. So I'm going to raise this up now. Let's make it size 15. And okay, so the way the time lapse works is there's a mod, a really good mod actually. It's called yes, I asked how you were doing. You may answer if you like. You also don't have to answer. That's the beauty of the internet. You could just quit. Be like, who's this creepy guy? Why is he talking to me? So yeah, I record the game using this mod, Replay mod, which is a super good mod, super useful, awesome mod in fact. And what that allows you to do is replay what you recorded in the game in any way that you like. That means you can face any way you like, you can look at whatever you like, and so you can record it with as much, you can clap on all the shaders because it's all recorded at maximum frames per second. So it's not recorded in real time, which is awesome. It takes a little bit of getting used to. It does have a lot of limitations, but the basic functionality is excellent. It's a replay mod, it's just called a replay mod I think. So I'm just going to make this a little bit larger. We're going to go for size 30 now, and this will hopefully allow us to plug the gap there. Yes. We can do this. And in here. And let's bulk up here too. So I'm trying to use stone now to base the build off of, so that we don't end up with floating stuff like we had before. So at worst, just a little bit of floating and not too much floating. You can't really edit the recorded. I mean, you can. So it's a really powerful tool. You can use it to. You can create like a camera path after the fact, where your camera will move wherever you like, and you can use that to record the video with. so that's pretty good. I'm not sure if that's what you mean. So I'm just going to go for a smaller one here, 25 in here maybe, and that should be able to bulk up to there. And we'll get what... Oh, this could be really cool actually, huge ravine. I mean, I know we already have a lot of ravines, but they're one of the cool things. So this is the kind of the underlying skeleton of the world, I suppose, and then later we'll move in with a much more detailed. So I don't want to make the mistake that I made last time with those double layers, because they were hard to separate. So let's try and be a little bit more careful this time. Whoops, I say, and immediately fire a sphere where I didn't mean for it to be. So let's go for a smaller one here. So we're going to go for a size, we'll go for a width of 15 and a height of 4 maybe? I'm just going to try and nestle that in there, like this. And just get it, yeah, kind of just up against the edges. And then we can hopefully split this one again. Alrighty, bye-bye. We'll bring this through. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, this is not very exciting music, is it? What is this? What is this piece of music? Ballad of the Cats. Alright, let me just real quick just grab that and move it out of the playlist. We don't want that. Ballad of the Cats. There's a lot of very slow pieces on the Minecraft soundtrack, or at least in the, yeah, I think it is the Minecraft soundtrack. So there's that one, we shouldn't hear that one again. What? Let's not put one there. Alrighty, so let's shrink it. Let's do another shrunken one even more, so we do 10 and 2. And we'll try and slip this in some places. Let's see if we can fit it in there. Oh yeah, so this is just going to give us a height of 1 actually, so maybe we should do 10 and 3. What's going on? It stopped working. What? Huh? Yeah, okay, never mind. So it did work. We fit one in there. Hey, is this a loop? I'm sure I had this. Yeah, we definitely played Style this morning, so I don't know what's happening. I don't know why we're playing it again. Good. And we'll do the same thing here. I think we're going to have to do some pretty gratuitous use of the blend ball actually, but that should really help us out to fix the smoothness. That in there. And in here, here. Okay, so we're getting a bit smoother. I mean, it's still looking a lot like a load of cylinders, but that's fine. Let's go in here now with this guy. Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. If you don't have the replay for them, you can't really do much in the way of time-lapse. But you can make videos. Or you can do, I mean, you can do time-lapse of kind of sunsets, sunrise, things growing. But I mean, you can make videos with them even if they're, you know, they're not moving. The replay mod will allow you to do that. Even if they're not time lapses, you can still make videos and you can record them with shaders. Even if you know your PC can't normally handle shaders, it will just slow down the when it's rendering it, it can slow it down to the speed that it needs to be, and so it will render anything basically, even if it's way beyond the capabilities of your PC to do in real time. Oh, what's happening here? Oh yeah, this is right. So this is going to be our forest, is the intention here. So we're going to have, well yeah, forest is what I'm thinking. This is much too steep here, isn't it? Let's take an air cylinder. And we'll just chop the edges off here. Push this back a little. And through here. The World Painter would have been a lot quicker way of doing this, but I don't think it uses... Actually, it would produce just as beautiful a structure. In fact, it would probably produce arguably a better structure, but... Doesn't create as good a time-lapse. Struggling a little bit. Let's try out the blend ball. Let's see what it's going to do. We'll try out its capabilities on this one. And let's whack it. Okay, didn't do too much, but it's already doing kind of what I want. Let's do a bigger one. Let's do a size 20. So big blend ball. Whoosh. Yeah, this is doing pretty much what I want. I mean, we are ending up with still cylinders at this point. In fact, you know what? I need to stop this. Let's not do this yet. Let's keep doing the... just get some more cylinders in here. Just to bulk out the right shape, and then we're going to take a... It's the police. Whoa, let's not do that. Let's make this a bit smaller just so that we can actually fit it. We'll just kind of stick this in where it will fit. Generally poking through here. And we get in there. We get in there. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is a... There's still so much to do. Yeah, I should not be too hasty about this really. Should do it right. Get out from inside there. And just going to kind of bulk up a little bit here. What time is it? Nearly out of time. I do kind of want to do the try and get a much better finish on this before I call it a day. So I think I'm going to just do this section. I mean, it is quite a large section anyway, isn't it? If it's not the whole section, we can use this as kind of a trialing technique anyway. Trialing the technique. Okay. So what I'm going to do is now is take a splatter ball. I'm going to do growth 3000. 2,000 maybe. No, growth 1,000. Do growth 2,000. Oops. I'm gonna do brush size 10. And I'm just gonna cover the whole area. So same technique as before, as we've used so many times. And I think I'm going to try using the blend ball right off the bat and see what happens. Yeah, I think it's worth it. We'll use the blend ball on these splatter balls and we'll see what happens. And with any luck, what we'll get is a nice natural effect. I don't know exactly. I'm not sure how other people create landscapes on this kind of scale using Voxel Sniper, and indeed whether anybody does actually. I suppose people must do, but I don't know how they do it. So this is kind of a new technique that I'm trying out. Maybe it's the same as what other people do. Maybe I'm just figuring out the standard technique, or maybe it's going to fail completely. It could be that it's just not going to work. Might just not give the finish we're looking for. And the cliff brush looks quite good. We might be able to use that at some point on this to kind of create some interesting cliffs. To break it up once we've got it, because I think what we're going to end up with is we're going to be in danger of having an extremely flat surface, which is not the end of the world. In fact, that's what I would prefer to start with, really. But we'll see. And while we're at it, let's do this section down here. Wow, my PC is holding up really good actually. Like, this is a lot of shadows it's having to render, and it's just taking it like a champ. Really well. I am finishing very soon, George, I'm afraid. Hello though. No. It is 9:30 though, like, it's not that early. Yeah, so I think this is one of the YouTube one of the pieces from the YouTube stock music library that they offer to people. For example, if you get audio swapped, this is one of the pieces that they'll offer. I think. I hope so. That's what I heard, and I just downloaded it and was like, I guess I can use that. Hopefully that's true and that I'm not actually committing copyright infringement. But it doesn't even have an artist name, this song. Okay. So, the moment we've all been waiting for, or at least the moment I've been waiting for. Let's get a huge blend ball in here. Huge blend ball, and let's see what happens. Boom. Whoa. Okay. It did something. Let's hit it again. And again. And it's kind of working. Not working perfectly, but we didn't, you know, we don't get massive amounts of landscape for free ever. Like, that's not a thing that ever happens. So this is still pretty economic, time economic, I think, to do it this way. I feel kind of bad for my old laptop that's running this, that's running the server, because it is probably, I imagine it's taking an absolute hammering right now. While my Alienware laptop is just like, nah, it's fine. Sorry, just you couldn't see that. Somebody on Mixer was being naughty. Needed banning. So it's a cool landscape. Maybe not quite what I was going for, but we're getting this kind of Martian landscape again, kind of similar to what we got in the base of the lake there, actually. Very similar, in fact. Still perfecting the techniques here, apparently. Oh, having a bit of a problem. It's really struggling now, I think, the server PC. Are we in the time-lapse camera view? Can the time-lapse camera actually see this? No, it's looking the wrong way, isn't it? Whoops. Oh well. Oh yeah, it's definitely having some success, I think. I've been up for 3.5 hours. I got up at 6 o'clock this morning. Oh, I've been busy. Cool. So, this is a lot more hectic than I had in mind, but I think it might work better with the trees. So I'm thinking of putting a whole forest on here. And it feels like a jungle is appropriate, actually, doesn't it? This looks like a jungle landscape should be here. Hello. Well, I always stream the same time, George. It's always at 8 AM. And sometimes I get up at 6. I usually have my usual morning routine is I get up about 6 o'clock, I meditate for half an hour maybe, take a shower, have some breakfast, then kind of slowly get ready to stream, have some tea. Oh, I still have a cup of tea that's definitely cold now. A volcano's a good idea, actually. That would definitely kind of fit into this area. Maybe we'll go with a jungle, actually. So we could have jungle here. I think jungle's the most appropriate thing, isn't it, to go with this kind of tropical look that we've got going on in this particular area. Oh, that didn't work at all. There we go. Now it did. Okay. Oh, it fired again at something. Stop, 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 stop. It's kind of still firing the blend ball at things. I'm usually in bed by 10, which is the sad part of this particular lifestyle. Bed at 10, up at 6. A little bit of stream, go to work. Get back home, cook the dinner. Hang about for a little while, get to 9 o'clock, start winding down, and head to bed by 10. Yes, so in about 13 hours, that's right. Is it? Yeah, about 12, 13 hours. So there we go. It's a basic landscape and it has problems, but it's a good starting point. It's a damn good starting point, I think. So, I'm gonna head off at this point because I have to go to work. I've got to get there for the work experience kid. Still so much to do here, like so much to do. It'll probably be another week just to get the basics laid out, and then we'll see. But thanks everybody for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Same time tomorrow, 8 o'clock. That's 8 AM GMT. Actually, I don't know. Is it GMT or BST? Anyway, I hope to see you guys then. Bye bye. Oh, just before I go, actually, let me get a sign here and just remind myself that I want to try the cliff brush on here. Try brush cliff. I'm never going to see that. Look at sign below. Now I should see that. Alright, bye bye guys. How do I end this stream?